Hey there, and happy Small Business Week. Again, we are just following along in this series of videos that I thought that would be really good to help out small business owners to learn more about insurance. And one of the topics that I get asked a lot about for small businesses has to do with work comp. Typically, the question is, am I required by law to have work comp? Well, I'm in North Carolina, so I'm not going to address the specifics of even the North Carolina law. What I'm going to say to you is, regardless of whether or not it's actually being required by the state that you operate in, it's really a good idea to have as early in the process as possible. In some cases, of course, you may run into situations where even if you don't have any employees, or you have somebody who's just like barely part-time, it doesn't matter. In order to get contracts with certain types of companies that you want to do business with, certain types of clients that you want to do business with, you may end up having to have it anyway and show that in order to get the contract. I know that, say for instance, you pick up trash. If you go onto certain types of premises, government properties, certain bigger corporations, even if you're going to go pick up trash, they still want to know that you have work comp, even if it's just you. And when I say when it's just you, you do have the opportunity, if it is just you, you're a sole proprietor, you could exclude yourself. Or you might want to think about, what would it be like if I did just cover myself under work comp, knowing that I don't have any other employees, it was just me, what would that look like? Well, you could get it. It would serve as kind of like a disability policy. Not to discount the disability policies are very necessary and they do a lot more for you. I'm just saying, if you got hurt, what's going to back you up? Hopefully you've got medical insurance. That would be the ideal thing, of course, but it's still, that work comp would pay for what you would normally make while you were recovering. And so those lost wages actually could be your wages, not just your employees. But again, one of the things that I like to make sure that folks know is that if you have no work comp coverage and you have an employee that gets hurt, I don't care if they're in your office or in your business 2 hours a week, or if they're in your office 45 hours a week, if they get hurt and you don't have work comp coverage, there's really no other place that you can get it for a regular business. Farms have some options. It's a little bit different on the farm side, but for your small business, it's just good business to have work comp so that you make sure that if you've got an employee that they're taken care of. But the other advantage to making sure that you have work comp as early as possible is, if you're paying on less payroll, then you're paying less. And while you're getting in on work comp with that less payroll, because you've only got one employee maybe at the time, or maybe two, you're still getting in on work comp when you've got a lower payroll to start out with, and you're gaining experience. One of the things that work comp insurance carriers look for is previous years of coverage. They're going to look to see what your experience has been like. Have you actually had to file any claims? And if you've had 1, 2, 3, you start to get into the third year and you've not had any claims, you are going to look a lot nicer, a lot more attractive, and they're more likely to be able to give you discounts, to actually be able to give you a reduced rate based on your experience, or based on the company being able to give a more preferred rate because you have that experience and you're looking good. They do take a little bit of consideration if it's just a really small loss. So don't think, oh, I'm not even going to bother getting work comp, because then if I have to file something, then that's going to look like a bad experience. Not the attitude to have. That really just isn't the way that it works either. But what is sensible is the idea that if you can get in and start getting the coverage, by the time you really need it, when you actually have enough employees to need it by law, you'll already have coverage in place and you'll already be sitting pretty to start getting better rates. That's my take on work comp. I'd love to hear some of your comments. If you wouldn't mind just dropping me a line, insurancewisetracy@gmail.com. I'd love to hear what you have to say about your work comp insurance from a small business standpoint. And if there's anything else that I can do for you for your small business in North Carolina, please let me know. Otherwise, I will look forward to seeing y'all again for the last video of the series, which will come out tomorrow on Friday. Really appreciate it and hope you have a great rest of your day.